aloha, aloha kako. Thank you for being with us today. It is Tuesday. We are now in the third Tuesday of March, I think. This month is flying by. It's spring break for me, so if I seem a little relaxed, it's because I teach school and this is spring break for us. So we're very lucky to have a little bit of time to relax from the real job and get to focus a little bit on this, which is what we love so much, which is being here with you folks here on our hula classes. So I'm glad that you have joined us. Hopefully, some of you have been here before. For those of you that are brand new, my name is Kumu Kanoi. I am the kumuhula of this halau, Napua Hala Kuno Ikekai. On Saturdays, my son is here with me, but on Tuesdays, you're stuck with just me. And my hubby behind the camera, Luke, is running all of the good things, the graphics and the lights and all of the music. So mahalo to him for being here with us. And mahalo to you folks. So we are going to be continuing with our mele that we did over the past few weeks. If you have not been with us, joining us for the past 2 weeks, not to worry. I am going to do a nice review of verse 1 and 2 today. And then we're going to be continuing on with verse 3 of our mele, Kewalo Uka. So I think it is almost time for us to get ready to hula. What do you think? It's time. As always, we would like to greet those of you who are joining us for the live stream. If you're watching the replay, no worries. Go ahead and leave us a comment because we love getting those too. But for those of you who have checked in today for the live class, want to say aloha no to Abby joining us from Mexico. It was so fun having you join us on our Zoom class, which wrapped up last week. So I'm glad we got to dance together. Aloha, Abby. I also see Renee. Renee is joining us all the way from Maine. So I don't know what the weather is like in Maine. Pihea Kianila Ma Maine. I wonder how that's going. Nice to have you with us. Cyan is joining us all the way from, I believe, Aiea, right? Am I right? Aiea. And let's see who else. Angelica is joining us from dun, 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 Germany. Yes, we have people joining us in all, far reaches of the globe. Linda is joining us. She likes my flowers. This is a puni, puapuni. This is a fake flower. This one I got from Uncle Kavika Trask. It's one of my favorites because it's Boom Kanani. Wow. So from Pennsylvania, Carol, nice. Mama Chun, I should say. Carol Chun. Mama Chun joining us from Makiki. So right down here, down the bend here. Fern is joining us in Texas. Aloha and yeehaw to Texas. Wendy joining us from St. Louis Heights again, right here on this island of Oahu. And Patricia still in Boston. That's okay. You stay safe right there in Boston. We'll see you here in Hawaii soon enough, I'm sure. So things are looking good here in the Hawaiian Islands. We, like I said, are on the island of Oahu. We're coming to you live from Nuʻuanu. So if you tuned in a little bit earlier, you saw it was pouring rain earlier, so our deck is completely soaked, but the sun came out for a beautiful sunset, hopefully at the end of our class. So anyhow, we are going to be jumping back into our hula right now, and we're into the third verse already. We have done one verse per week this month. And let me know how you like that. Do you like this pace where I go a little bit slower, tell you more about the history and a little bit of research about the mele? Or do you prefer, if some of you have been watching us for months and months and months, do you prefer when we do a whole song all in 1 week? I was looking back at our archives actually, and today is the 1 year anniversary of our Facebook Live hula. We have been at this Facebook Live hula sharing craziness for one entire year. And if you go back and watch some of our videos from back then, man, they were terrible. They were just really, really bad. I don't know why you folks watch them. They were like painful to watch. But we've done a lot of upgrades. You know, we have lights and cameras and all the kinds of things to try and make this a great experience for you. So, yeah, let us know what you'd like to see from us, and we'll do our best to do that for you. Okay, so the song that we have been doing is called Kewalo Uka. It is by a dear, dear friend of ours. His name is Kumu Jonah Kahanuola Solatorio. And he's just a young guy, you know. He is a Kamehameha graduate. He also graduated from the University of Hawaii with his bachelor's and master's in Hawaiian language and I believe education. And he sings with a group called Keauhou. Now, Keauhou is famous throughout the land. They are Nahoku Hano Hano Award winners, and they have now taken the torch of May Day from Robert Casimiro. And so they are already deep in the planning stages of their May Day, which is coming up real soon. So Jonah wrote this mele called Kewalo Uka for the place where he lives. It is a Hawaiian homestead, and that's why we chose this song, because we're celebrating Prince Jonah Kahanuola Solatorio, whose birthday will be coming up next week, Friday. Not this Friday, but the following Friday will be Prince Kuhio's birthday. And of course, Prince Kuhio was very instrumental in setting up the Hawaiian homesteads. So let's review our first two verses of Kewalo Uka. As you can see right here, the first verse is Kewalo Uka I ka olu e, I puia I ke ala pikake e. So it talks about the place, Kewalo Uka, and it says it is so refreshing and comfortable. And the smell of the jasmine fills the air. It's imbued with the scent of jasmine. So, Kewalo Uka, you're going to reach your hands out to the side. Yep, let's dance. You're going to reach your hands and you're going to make this circular motion. So we're talking about that basin, Kewalo Basin, but not just the basin, but upland area, up Mauka, or towards the mountains of that Kewalo Basin. So you're going to make Kewalo down here and then push to the side. Uka, of course, means upland. Okay? So for this one, we're going to call to the right. Ready, set, here we go. Kewalo Uka. Then in the refreshing comfort, you're going to bring your hands with a small wave across your body from, I would say, about head level down to shoulder level. Ika olu. Then flip the hands. To 45-degree angles on both sides. Of course, you're not going to stare at the camera as I am right now. You're going to follow that left hand as it draws across. Okay, so let's try from Kewalo Uka, just the hands. Ready? And here we go. Circle. Kewalo Uka, Ika olu e. Then imbued with that fragrance, you're going to bring the hand over ipu. And then from your nose, ia. Let me go over that one more time. The left hand is over the right as it crosses at your nose. And then you're going to switch hands. Now the right hand over the left as you draw out toward the 45-degree angle, keeping it close to the wrist as a guide. Okay, so once more, ipuia. Ipuia. Then flip the palms down. You're going to touch to your nose, back out to the 45-degree angle, and then pick that jasmine, pikake, pick, and flower. Then you get your vamp. Ba-dee-da-bee-da-bee-da-bee-dum. Hands only, Kewalo. Kewalo Uka. Wave down. Ika olu e. Imbued. Ipu ia. Flip. Ke ala pikake. For those of you that are not familiar with the pikake, it is the jasmine, tiny, tiny, very delicate flower that's very fragrant. I had it on 2 weeks ago. So if you go back and watch the replay, you'll see a real live pikake. It was maybe at the end of its life, but it's okay. It's still pikake. So let's add the feet for this now. We're going to start with a kaholo to the right. And ready? Add the holo 4 times. Kewalo Uka. Now freeze right here. Ika olu. You're going to ka'o 2 times. So you're going to sway to the right, sway to the left, and then kaholo to the right. Now you're noticing that I turned you towards the side, not so that you could see me suck it in, but because that's where we got to go. Then ipuia, you're going to do a side kaholo. So your left foot, the one that's further away from me, is going to step away. Step away, turn to the front, and tap. Okay, I want to show you what that looks like on a kind of closer up camera. So this is our vavai cam. So for that side kaholo, remember, we're going to start facing towards this way. The left foot, which is the one that's further away, make sure that's free to step to the back. Ready? Stepping back. Here we go. Step back, pivot, turn front, tap. Okay, so that's what your side kaholo is. Let's try one more time. Put your weight on that front right foot. Stepping back on the left. Ready, set, step back. Here we go. Step back, pivot, come front, tap. Okay, so that's going to be your ipuia. Then we're going to continue with a kaholo. Ia, ke ala pika ke. Then we have 2 hela. Point the foot right and point left. Now for your hela, you want your feet to be sort of in a V shape, knees bent. Right foot is going to go out, and then you're going to go opposite, okay? He was tired of looking at my feet. He said, okay, I guess she's coming back. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. We will stay there. Okay, so face to the side, ipuia, ready, set, here we go. Ipuia, palms down. Ke ala pika, ke hela right, hela left, kaholo right. 2, 3 from the beginning. Kewalo Uka, circle like Kewalo basin. Kewalo, go up. Uka, sway. Ika olu, imbued. Ipuia, ke ala pika, ke hela right, hela left, kaholo right. 2, 3, and left. So this is what I call a diagonal or a swing kaholo. So that vamp that happens in between the verses, there's not a meaning to it, but it's just sort of a little break so that the singers, the dancers, everybody can gather their thoughts and think about what is coming next, or what did I do wrong last time of the verse that I want to do right this time. So let's try this now with a recording that I have made. Every time you come to our hula classes, you will probably hear me singing on the recording. That's because of Facebook. You know, it doesn't like you to use other people's music. So I do make my own recordings. However, I would highly recommend that when you dance this for your family and friends, that you use Keauho's original recording of Kewalo Uka, which of course features our hakumele, or our composer, Kahanuola Solatorio. So here we go. First verse. Diagonal swing down. Kewalo Uka. Kewalo Uka. Uh-oh. Side kaholo. Palms down. Hello. Swing down. Repeat that verse. Kewalo Uka. Kewalo Uka. Uh-oh. And down. That's it. All right. So that was the first verse. Last week, so if you want a longer version of that, you can watch the replay from 2 weeks ago, also linked in the description to this video. Or if you would like to review the second verse, which we're about to do now, you could watch the replay of last week's video, but I'll do a quick one right now too. So the second verse says, Pula mahia Papakōlea e o ka melia pua hi'ipoi e. So remember, in the first verse, we were talking about the jasmine, that very fragrant and delicate flower. Now, this flower that we're honoring and this place is a little bit hardier, shall we say. The puamelia, the English name for it is plumeria, and I believe the scientific name is frangipani. I don't know why, but anyways, that's what it is. But plumeria, the M-E-R-I-A, take the R, flip it into an L, and you have the puamelia. Melia is the plumeria blossom. Usually the variety that you'll see most commonly is the white with the yellow centers. That's what I had on last week. And so the melia or the plumeria is one of the hula dancers' favorite flowers to wear. It is widely accessible, much cheaper than the pikake. And so we talked a little bit about the history of lei sellers and lei makers in the Papakōlea area last week. So hopefully you remember that. Let's go over the hands for pulama hia. Pulama means to cherish. And when you add that hia to the end, it just kind of makes it a passive. It is cherished by, so Papakōlea, you're going to bring your hands, right hand on top, left hand on the bottom. You're going to wave one time, about chinchilla size. Don't ask me about chinchilla. We have very tragic stories. So, okay. So 1 and 2. Then you're going to flip 2 palms down, cross right at the wrist, flip your palms over, and then open. That's just pulamahia. That word, pulamahia, cherish, is all of those 3 motions. So it's going to wave 1. Pulamahia. Okay, and so you can actually look at your hands when you do that. You don't have to look straight forward. Try once more. Ready, go. Pulamahia. Okay, so for that one, you're looking straight. And then you know what? I think I said you're going to follow your left hand from one side to the other, just so that you're not just looking straight or at your hands the entire time. Okay, so one more time. Look at your hands for pulama, and then on hia, follow the left hand. Ready, go. Pulamahia. Now, Papakōlea is the name of the place, but if you break it down, papa means a flat area or a plain, like a kula, right? Papa. And then kolea, of course, are those frigate birds that we see here in Hawaii. Still, they come seasonally to Hawaii for a little bit of warm weather. So this place, Papakōlea, used to be known, remember, for the gathering of birds and also the gathering of people. People loved to live in this area because it was so plentiful and, there was water and good lands for farming and all that kind of thing. So Papakōlea is that place. So for this one, remember my funny joke, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Papakōlea. That's what we're doing right now. So you're going to bring your left hand above head level. Your right hand is going to be out. So we have both wings of bird. And then when you move it side to side, you're doing the plane. Yep, you're pushing your hands along the plane where there's a slight upland area up above. Then you're going to switch and you're going to push this way. So it's very subtly both a bird motion and a land motion. But we're just going to have our hands out, left hand up to begin, right hand down, and then we're going to pivot going right hand does a little zhuzh motion, and then the left hand does a zhuzh motion to that side. Okay, let's go from pulama. Cherish is ready, go. Pulamahia, Papakōlea, eh. Let's add the for that before we get into the hands of the next. So for pulamahia, we're going to kaholo to the right and left. Ready, go. Pulamahia, turning to the side. Now we're going to do that O step. So the left foot is getting ready to turn. Your right foot is going to cross in front and turn to the opposite side. Then left foot crosses to the front and brings us back to center. Okay? So let's just do the feet for that. Kaholo right and left, and then O right and left. Bend your knees. Set. Here we go to the right. Pulamahia, turn. Papakōlea, eh. That's it. All right, let's add the hands to that. Pulama, set. Here we go. Right. Pulamahia, left hand up, right hand down. Papakōlea, eh. That's it. Now we're going to talk about those plumeria blossoms, the ones that I was adorning. For this, you're going to take your 2 hands facing in towards your chest, or actually where the lei would be if you're wearing a lei. You're going to touch in like this, and then bring straight forward and up, behind your neck, and then back down at chest level. Now, it doesn't matter if the lei that you happen to be wearing is short, medium, or long. We're going to just kind of use the center of our chest as the target for that, okay? So, okamelia, wave into yourself. Okamelia. Then you're going to drop the left hand by your side. The right hand is going to pick as if there were a flower right here at your heart, like where pledge allegiance to whoever you pledge allegiance to. So you're going to pick your flower out here, and you're going to bring it out to the 45-degree angle. And then you're going to hi'ipoi, another word for cherish. You're going to hold right underneath that blossom, and you're going to return it back to your heart on the left-hand side. Okay, I know the heart technically is in the center, just kind of tilted, but in hula, we always say it's on the left-hand side. Okay, of course, I'm mirroring you. I forgot to say that earlier. Every time you come to our classes, I am mirroring you. So this will be your right, and this will be your left. Don't worry about what it is for me. Okay, so okamelia, chest, from your hands to your chest. Ready, go. Okamelia, pick flower at the heart. Puahi poi. That's it. This one is going to be fairly simple as the feet go. We're going to kaholo right, left, and then we're going to kaholo forward or imua, and then kaholo ihope or back to the left. Okay, so let's go from okamelia, kaholo to the right. Ready, go. Okamelia, forward. Puahi poi. Holo. Da 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 da. Pula mahia. Pula mahia. Papakōlea e. O camelia. Puahi poi. Vamp to the side and to the side. That's it. We have a question. Okay, what is our question? Here it is. It's going to be right here. Are you lifting pua into the heart or pulling it into your heart? Okay, so there's two parts that you could be talking about. So you have, after you're here, this one is pulling out from the center. I know this is not what you're talking about. And then palms are here. For right here, you're going to, it's almost like you're pulling it from your chest, like this. And then you're going to kind of slight lift here. And then you're going, it sort of comes down, and then you're going to bring it up. So there's a bunch of different things that are happening there. I'm not sure if that helped to clarify it. But the first one is pulling it as if it were kind of coming out of your chest this way. It's kind of squidding up. Okay, so you're going to pull the pua out this way. Then you're going to lift in the palm, slight arcing downward, and then lifting it once it gets back to your poli or your bosom area. Okay, hopefully that helped. Okay, let's try from okamelia. I'll try a little bit closer to the camera. Ready? Holo to the right. Okamelia. Puahi poi. Yeah? Maybe that helped? Yeah. We also do have one more angle that may be helpful just for all of these sagittal motions, which is like forward and back. So we're going to go to maybe the overhead camera so that you can just see where I'm moving for this. So I'm going to go from the vamp, actually. So here I go, holo at the angle, and pula mahia is going to go straight forward. Pula mahia, side. Papakōlea e. O camelia. Puahi poi. And then diagonal holo here, diagonal holo there. Okay? I don't know if that's helpful at all, but it is what it is. We have a GoPro, so there we go. Let's try our second verse with music. This is Pula Mahia. This is still first verse, so just chill out. This is our ala of the Jasmine Pikake. Let's go. Second verse. Pula Mahia. Pula Mahia. Papakōlea e. O camelia. Puahi poi e. Pula Mahia. Pula Mahia. Papakōlea e. O Kalāwahine. Kalāwahine. All right, so that was our first two verses. I just want to make sure that we've got everybody. Maybe say hello to a few more people. Oh, I see Zelka is joining us. Hi, Zelka, joining us all the way from Panama. It's good to have you with us. And I see Barbara joining us from Kona. Aloha, Barbara. Yay, yay, yay. Yes. Thanks for all of those happy anniversaries. It's been a fun year because of you folks. I don't know what's else been happening out in the world. It's a little bit crazy town, but we've been having fun here, haven't we? All right. So we're going to go on now to our verse number 3. And that is our goal for today, is to work on verse 3 since it's the third week of the month. So let's take a look at our lyrics first for Pauku e Kolu. By the way, the word pauku, if you see it there, pauku means verse. So when you see pauku e Kolu, that just means this is verse number 3. So the next place that we're going to be going is Kalāwahine. And actually, I don't know, do we have a map that we could maybe show them so that they could see the orientation? Maybe not that one. Okay, this one is a good one. So Papakōlea is over on this side, a little bit closer to where we are here in Nuʻuanu. And then down in the front, you'll see Kewalo Uka. And then up the mountain, kind of behind where Roosevelt High School is, if you're familiar with where Roosevelt High School is, up the mountain behind Roosevelt is Kalāwahine. And Kalāwahine is actually made up of 3 ili lele. And ili lele are like small little pieces of an ili, or a land area, that are separated. Lele means to jump or fly. So the ili lele, they're kind of separated neighborhoods within Kalāwahine. It's not all one cohesive community. It is a community, but anyhow, there's kind of separated areas within Kalāwahine because of how the ili were sort of sliced and diced. So Kalāwahine literally means the day of the woman, or Women's Day, which is kind of neat because it's Women's History Month, I believe. But Kalāwahine is named for a deity, or a guardian of water there in that area. I couldn't find too many more stories about Kalāwahine, but I do know that there was a deity that was assigned to protect the water of that area there. And so the place was also named Kalāwahine. So Kalāwahine is known for being gracious and welcoming, and just very olu is the word that comes to mind. Just very gracious. And it is surrounded by kukui. Now, kukui, you're probably used to seeing kukui nuts. And so this is actually talking about the shade of the kukui tree. For the past 2 weeks, we have been featuring lei for each verse. So 2 weeks ago, I had pikake lei, and 1 week ago, I had a lei of plumeria, which I actually picked up from the ground at school, but we won't talk about that more. But this verse talks about the shade of the kukui tree. And I didn't want to just wear a kukui nut lei. I wanted to show you the thing that provides so much shade for the kukui trees are actually its leaves. So I wanted to take you on a little adventure and give you a quick lei tutorial. So here are some images to share with you of kukui. Where shall I stand? Aha. So Eames, my son, and I, yesterday, we went on a hunt all around the island to try to find some kukui. And I taught him how to spot the kukui trees, because kukui actually have this sort of silvery greenish side to them. So when you're looking at a mountaintop, you see, lots of dark green trees here in Hawaii, especially now with all of the rain. But you will also see a lighter green, sort of silvery green tree, like the one actually in this picture right here. I'm not sure if you can really see it, but right in the middle of that clump of trees, there's one tree that's slightly lighter in color, and that is a kukui tree. We found lots. This happens to be the one that we gathered our leaves from. This is at the Board of Water Supply Reservoir just up the road from where we are. So that's the kukui tree. Now, we gathered about 35, 40 leaves. I wasn't exactly sure how many it was going to take. The first step was to wash and clean the leaves. So they originally, when you pick them, they have sort of a white film, sticky sap on them. So you have to run them under water, like a cold or warm is fine, but with a soft sponge, maybe with a little bit of abrasive side to it so that you can wipe off that sticky white substance. I realized about halfway through, I probably should have been wearing gloves. So quickly washed my hands with soap, put on gloves, and continued because it was getting a little bit itchy. So just be careful of that. Um, After cleaning all of the leaves, the next step was to sort them by size. So you can see in this one, I have sort of a small, a medium, and a large size. And you can see based on the size of my hand, sort of the size of the leaf that we had. So the next thing to do was to arrange them in the fashion that you would be eventually putting them into a lei. And what I like to do is put the smallest leaves on the ends and then work my way towards the center. So, I kind of piled them all up from biggest to largest, and I stood there and I went one for you and one for you and one for you and one for you, kind of deal it out until you get to the middle, or vice versa, from the middle to the ends. Okay, so the first thing is wash and dry and then lay them out in order. Then next, you have one other leaf that you will be needing is the tea leaf. We used about 5 leaves, although I like to pick my leaves that have a little bit of yellow and then just trim out the green part because I don't want to waste leaves. You know me, I'm always picking out trash. So you can see in this picture, the yellow that you see up there is what I had trimmed off of these green leaves, which you will need to soften. And you can do that any way that you prefer. Some people iron, some people freeze. I actually prefer to microwave. I believe that if the ancient Hawaiians had a microwave, they would have used it. So I find that it's not quite as mushy when I use microwave. And grandma doesn't really like when I use her iron to iron my tea leaves. So that's the other story about that. So you have half leaves, take out all the midrib. And I like to have nice green leaves, but it would actually look really pretty if you had other different colors. You could also use raffia, twine, string, any of those kinds of things. So, okay, next step after we have our softened leaves is nope, there's one more before that actually. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. This before you move on, you have to make this rope tea leaf lei and make it about 10 inches long. And so if you're not familiar with how to make that lei, sorry, but it's called the hilo style. So you twist to the right, cross over to the left. You have 2 strands. Twist to the right, cross to the left. Twist to the right, cross to the left. Twist to the right. It's like the one that you made in 3rd grade. And just keep doing that until you get 10 inches. Okay, so then you have that. Next, you're going to take the first kukui leaf and you're going to lay it right on top of the left-hand strand with the stem facing up. Be sure not to trim any of the stems. In fact, you want them as long as possible because you'll see why in a moment. But you're going to place the leaf on top of the left-hand strand, twist the right, and then you're going to cross it over. Once you cross it over, it'll look something like this, and you're going to rotate the kukui leaf out 90-degree angle to the side. So now you have the stem facing towards the left and the leaf of the kukui facing towards the right. So that's leaf number 1. Next, you're going to continue that for 4 leaves total. So now you have 4 leaves facing towards the side and 4 stems facing towards the other side. And each time you're just crossing over, twist and cross, twist and cross, twist and cross. So now you have 4 leaves locked in with stems facing out. On the 5th leaf, when you add that 5th leaf in, you're going to lock it in with that twist and cross. Then you're going to take the furthest stem, the first leaf that you place. Take that stem, cross it over the top of all of the other leaves, and then put it in front of the leaf that you just placed. And then you're going to twist and cross, lock that one in, okay? And then this is the part that I always hate in lei tutorials. Continue. And it just turns out like that. So you continue with the lei, each time adding a leaf, twist and cross. Lock in a stem, twist and cross. Add a leaf, twist and cross. Bend a stem, twist and cross. Just keep doing that until you get to the desired length. Now, what is the desired length? I haven't quite figured that out myself. It depends on who's wearing the lei, how big are the leaves, all of those kinds of things. So you're going to have to just experiment with it. I have to be totally honest. This is only the third time that I've made this lei in my life. So I'm kind of winging it too. I'm no expert, but I figured I'd show you the process as we go. Okay, Fern, what is your question? Oh, sorry. Luke's going to pull it up for me. The rope made from the tea leaf? Yes. The rope that I'm putting everything through is made from those tea leaves that we softened in the microwave like an hour ago. I don't know. Yes. So that's all tea leaf that I'm using to hilo. Okay, and this style is called hilo because it's like this twist, not the place hilo, but the style of lei. So at the very end, once you get to sort of your desired length, which for me was around 30-something leaves, maybe 35, you're going to be left with just stems. So then you just continue bending the stem and twist and cross. Bend the stem, twist and cross. So you won't have a leaf in between anymore at the end because remember you had 4 leaves without stems at the very beginning. After you finish the stems, then you're going to continue with maybe another 10 inches. Of course, you may need to add in tea leaf because, you might have gotten to the end of your tea leaf. That's why we used, I think, 4 or 5 tea leaves and just kept adding those in. If you don't know how to make this tea leaf rope lei, you might want to start with that before you do a kukui. Just saying. I've made more than 3 of those. I'll give you that. So you finish that, tie the end of the tea leaf with a knot at the end. And here is our finished lei. So, this is sort of almost like a Micronesian style that you see here in the picture. The lei itself it looks so dainty and, like almost lace-like in this picture. And you can see all of the stems crossing over and all of the leaves just laying so beautifully in line. It looks very organized. So I have this whole picture covering the video right now because I wanted to show you this lei. And when I see it on the video, here is in person the lei kukui. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so note to self. Remember when I was saying, see the size of my hand and the size of the leaves? You should probably use smaller leaves. Because I just feel like this lei is like Shibuya kukui. I couldn't bring myself to wear it for the whole hula because she's big. She's kukui-licious. And anyways, I think she's beautiful and I'm very proud of her. But my note in asterisks that I would add after I gave you this recipe, I would say find the smallest kukui leaves possible. Because I just feel like this is a little bit ridiculous. Luke was joking with me and he said, oh, it looks like one of those Kim Taylor Reese. Like you're supposed to be topless and like on the beach with a tea leaf skirt. But anyways, this is not that kind of show. I'm not trying to get my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel shut down. But this is my lei kukui and I hope you love it. And if you're going to make this lei for someone, I hope they also can pull it off because I don't know. I'm having regrets. Anyways, isn't she pretty? Isn't she? Okay. All right. She's fabulous. I'm just gonna. So then now it's just like, yeah. I meant to make this lei this gigantic. Yeah, that's why I made my hair big because I had nothing in my hair earlier and I was like, what is that, a pinhead? Okay, so let's dance Kalāwahine now. Okay. I'm glad you folks are getting a good laugh out of this because, woo. Okay, so Kalāwahine, remember, means the day of the woman. So after your vamp, you're gonna vamp it to the side and vamp it to the side. Now, you're going to start Kalāwahine. Instead of facing straight on, you're actually going to start facing towards the 45-degree angle. And you're going to have your right hand all the way out to the side. Your left hand is going to come up above your head. So if you're facing straight on, it kind of looks like an L shape, just like this. Okay. I think I've mentioned in the past weeks, this area is not the highest mountain on the island. So we don't want to have our hands straight up like this, really close to our head. Uncle Kimo, one of my Kumu hula, he always says, if you want a very steep mountain, bring the hand really close to your head. But if you want it to have that kahene vai olu, that gentle slope, then drop it away from the head just a bit. That's where we want it for Kalāwahine. Okay, so for this one, even though you're going to be facing towards the angle, I'll face towards you for now. You're going to flip both hands gently over. Okay, so you're going to flip over. Kalāwahine. Right hand is going to join towards the left. Okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking Kalāwahine, the day, the la with the L. So then I'm making that L shape with my hands. Okay, so you're going to switch. Kalāwahine. Just like that. Your right before this, we have our vamp. And for the vamp, we're sort of kaholo, slight angle. So we're going to keep that same angle that we did for the vamp. Kalava. And then hine. Now you're facing straight on your shoulders. In case you couldn't see my shoulders, here they are. You're going to kahola towards the left. Hine. And there is a slight little dip there when you're bringing that right hand up to join the left. Okay? So let's go from here. Kaholo to the angle going right. Kalāwahine. Very good. The next part says waipahē. So waipahē is that gracious, welcoming, olu calmness of the people. Gracious is the word that Kumu Kahanu used. And so for this, from up here, where your hands are up here, you're actually going to touch the hands together and you're going to sort of do almost like a little curtsy bow sort of move. So again, your hands come together and you're going to kuno, nod your head. That word kuno means to bow in reverence. And it's actually in the name of our hula halau, na pua hala, kuno, to nod their head, ikekai, towards the ocean. So for this, when your hands come down, you're going to graciously bow your head. I o kawaii pahe. You do that motion, you're going to step back with the right foot. So, sorry, let me do it in this camera first. Your right foot is going to step back and your left foot is going to stay extended. So that's sort of your little curtsy, right? When we kind of bow in hula, we don't do the cross the foot behind, grab the skirt and bend. That's not so much of how we would do, but you're going to do more of this look. Yeah? So you're sort of in reverence to your guests, you're saying, welcome, okay? And then you're going to give them a little tour around Kalāwahine. So you're going to go, o kawaii pa. And then on he, you're going to open just like, welcome to my home. Welcome to a ho'opili mai. Okay, welcome to Kalāwahine. That's what we're going to do. Touch and open. So you just touch the right hand into the palm of the left, flip it over, and drag it across. Okay, so your o kawaii starts here towards this angle. You're going to step back. O kawaii pa with a little kuno. Then you're going to holo towards the left. Hey, hey. Okay, so now I'm going to actually ask for this overhead camera, I think will be a nice one to see this Kalāwahine. Ready? Here we go to the angle. Kalāwahine. Bow. O kawaii pahe. Okay? So that's sort of that move. Now, let's talk about the next line of the verse. O kaulu kukui. Now, the kukui, of course, is the kukui tree that I described to you and I showed you. The ulu kukui is sort of like a grove or a clump of these trees. So it's not just one tree standing alone, but it's an entire area filled with this type of tree. Sometimes it kind of stands out from the rest, especially because of that silvery green leaf. So, o kaulu kukui. You just finished kaholo to the left. You're going to kaholo towards the right, and you're going to bring your hands up. O kaulu kukui. On that. So you're just going to bring that hand up, and then it sort of just stands with a very slight shimmer or wave in the leaves, right? This is not cocoa palm swaying at Waikiki Beach. It's a pretty strong tree, and it just has a little bit of life to it, if you can see that. No? Okay. So after you do O Kawaipa He, you're gonna pick that Kaulu Kukui. Okay. No, I lied. Kaulu. Then you're gonna switch Kukui. That's where the life is. So because there's multiple trees, you remember? Yeah. Kaulu Kukui. That's where it is. Okay. And then a malu maine. Malu means to protect. Like a mamalu is an umbrella. So that thing that gives you protection. So this is this canopy of kukui trees that protects. And the kauna of that, of course, is sort of the elders, the kupuna, the ancestors of Kalāwahine are always watching over the people of Kalāwahine and protecting them there. Just like the deity that guarded the water, Kalāwahine, the ancestors of the people who live there now in Hawaiian homelands are watching over them and protecting them. So get your tree, kaulu kukui. Then e malu maine, the right hand is going to circle around. And you kind of make that perimeter of that ulu kukui. So you're circling around and it eats out in front. And then it brings protection, watches over us all. And you're going to bring your hands down. Okay, so from the center, right above your head, wave, and then bring it out to the 45-degree angle. That's going to be your hands for that line. So let's go from kaulu. Kaulu kukui. Circle the right hand. E malu mai. And then we holo pam pam pam. Just the hands. Let's try. Kalāwahine. Kalāwahine. Here's our kuno bow. O kawaipa he. Make the kukui tree. Kaulu kukui. Circle that grove. E malu mai. And then we holo. All right, so let's add the feet to that. We've sort of sprinkled some of it in there. But Kalāwahine is going to be a side kaholo or angle kaholo. Kalava, then kaholo to the left. Hine, then step back on the right foot. O kawaipa, and then hey, you're going to kaholo to the left. Hey, kaholo right. Kaulu kukui. Then we're going to do a kaholo au au. You're going to turn around to the right side. E malu mai. So sorry for all of those very subtle turns, but this area is sort of all surrounded. Let's try Kalāwahine. Ready, going. Right. Kalāwahine. Step back on the right and bow. O kawaipa. He. Kukui right. Kaulu kukui. Side kaholo. Malu mai e karam. Ba-dee-da-da-da-ba-da-da-dum. All right. That's our kuku. Let's try it with the music. Yay. Okay. Kalāwahine. Hula mai. Kalāwahine. Kuno. One more time. Kalāwahine. We're going to our third location, Kalāwahine Homestead. The day of the woman, rather. So gracious. With that grove of many kukui trees that surround and protect. And then, yeah, so actually puana is the next verse. Puana is the same as ha'ina. And ha'ina is like, the favorite verse of the hula dancers. I think our delivery is here. Sorry. Uh, so this will be our third verse, finish up. And we're going to go with the first 3 verses. We're going to review them now with the music. We're going to go all the way through 1, 2, and 3. And then we only have one more verse left after this. But I do have a special surprise for you next week. So I won't spoil it. I won't spoil the surprise. But okay, so we have verse 1, 2, and 3 with music. And we're going to go through the 3 homesteads, starting, of course, from Kewalo Uka. Second is Pula Mahia Papakōlea, and then to Kalāwahine. All right. Good luck. Yeehaw. Kewalo Uka. Ka'o. Ipuia, fragrant. Touch, Hala. Hula. One more time. Kewalo Uka, first verse. The upland of Kewalo Uka, in the refreshing calm, imbued with the fragrance of the jasmine. Hikake. Hula. Hula mahia. 2 hands out in front, wave. Papakōlea. Blue Maria lay. Pick that flower. And yeehaw. Repeat, second verse. Pula mahia. All right. And left. Put in that Blue Maria. Puamelia. Kalāwahine, angle. Puno or bow. Polo left. Kukui tree to the right and left. Surrounding that grove and protects. Repeat. Kalāwahine. Step back on the right. Kukui. Side kaholo. Hula. Puana. That's it. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming with us to each of the 3 homesteads close to our home here on the island of Oahu. Kewalo Uka, Papakōlea, and Kalāwahine. I feel like I want to give away the surprise. Can I give away the surprise? So next week, I know there's actually 2 more weeks left in this month, but next week, Tuesday, we have a special surprise. We actually are going to get to do a live interview with the hakumele, or the composer, rather, for this song, Kewalo Uka. He is, again, Kahanuola Solatorio. Just a wealth of knowledge. He also is a Hawaiian language teacher, both at the Kamehameha schools and on the internet, on Instagram and Facebook and Zoom and all the things. So he has just been blowing up, getting super famous all around the world, sharing knowledge and just wisdom with the Hawaiian language. But we are going to be interviewing him specifically on this mele and just kind of picking his brain about some of the things that he thought about when he was composing it. So I know that we normally are hula every Tuesday, but next week we're going to be talking a little bit more hakumele, and so we're going to be interviewing him here on Tuesday during our regular hula time. And I'm kind of excited. I might kind of throw it out to him and say, here's what we did for this verse. how do you like it? You know, would you do something differently? Because he's a male hula too. He knows how to dance, and he's seen a lot of hula. So I'm excited to show him what we've done so far. If you want to share some videos of you dancing the first 3 verses, I would love to feature some of that and let him see you folks dancing it because he's seen me dance plenty. But if you'd like to send me some videos of you dancing verses 1, 2, and or 3, I would love to share that with him. And he promised that he would sing it for us live too. So uh, it's a huge treat. I know that you folks are here for hula, but we would not be here dancing without our fabulous pu'ukani, our musicians, and our hakumele that are still writing beautiful music today. So I hope you're as excited about that as I am. I don't know what kind of lei I'm gonna wear. that's my biggest concern is how do you top this, really? Anyways, I hope that you will come back next week. Watch those replays. If you want to send me a video of you dancing your favorite of the verses for Papakōlea or Kalāwahine or Kewalo Uka, I would love to share those with the hakumele next week. And I hope that you folks will all be here to join us to learn a little bit more about this mele. Otherwise, you folks have a fabulous week. I will see you then. Take care and ahui ho.